It's the Shitcase Cinema.
Hello! Now it's been a while since my last review, Double Down, because basically I was struggling to find something worthy of reviewing. Now, Godfrey Ho's other ninja films that I've not reviewed came to mind. Neil Breen's other movies that I've not reviewed came to mind. But then it hit me like a slap in the face from the man himself, Steven Seagal. Now, any of his films are worthy of reviewing because they're basically all the same, but Attack Force got the nod. It's amazing. Seagal's straight-to-DVD movies, all 10,000 of them, require a very high pain threshold for watching cinematic crap. At times you probably feel less pain grinding your genitals against a pineapple, but there's always that unintentional comedy element to be found in his films. So in this epic, Sensei Seagal plays a military figure just for a change named Marshall Lawson. Seriously, you get it? Marshall Lawson? Martial law? Well, whatever, Seagal made it up, so don't blame me. Now, you may think that he means business right here, but if you want to see him pull a different facial expression, you have to go check out another movie because he has the same face all the time, except, of course, for this classic. It looks like a vibrating bowl of jelly. Forget staging well-choreographed fight sequences. Nah, that's bullshit. Just show us close-ups of something that resembles Steven Seagal. That's what I'm talking about. So, Seagal and his crack team are in Paris chilling out, and his three-man team are tired of hanging around with him already.
Can't get no love around here.
Yeah, we were thinking of going to a titty bar.
Why don't you children go on?
We'll catch you later.
All right, thank you, sir.
And sure enough, his team are killed off by a hooker with the strength to put her hands through walls like Michael Myers. This has got to surely upset our main man, but his reaction is hard to read, yet he's great for explaining what is happening.
Nah, don't bother. They're all dead.
Oh, Sensei, you're so sharp.
Come with me.
To be fair, he needs to explain the rest of the film because I was left scratching my head at times. It's such a convoluted mess, but I'll get to that later on. There's a club owner who not only deals in prostitution, but a new drug called CTX, which is a new party drug that naturally has side effects.
Traces of CTX lodge themselves in your system and become dormant. They gradually change your DNA.
Alter your DNA. So now we're moving from lame action thrill to lame science fiction. I suppose it's a nice change up. Meanwhile, the hooker is up to her old tricks by killing more guys and, well, I mean, I guess her DNA has changed because she's got lizard eyes now or something. I can't wait for Seagal to kick her ass, unless he's too busy sitting around in a cafe or a bar with his aggressive American friend or pretty girlfriend, like he does for most of the time he's on screen looking bored and changing up his voice.
Let me ask you something. What's the story with Majestic and drug movement?
Sounds like Clint Eastwood now. Amazing. And have you ever noticed that Steven Seagal always gets the younger girl 20 years his junior? How does the man do it? Steven Seagal can do anything. You don't need to question a single point in this film. He's like some powerful fat alien being sent down to Earth to entertain and amuse us, which is naturally for all the wrong reasons. Moving on faster than Seagal can walk, the club owner meets his boss in a rundown castle for some bizarre reason and reveal their evil plan.
We are forced to react now.
Consider it done. CTX will enter the city's water supply within an hour.
Oh dear. I sure hope Seagal kicks your ass, but guess what? Yeah, he's still sitting around like a sack of potatoes looking bored. He needs to pull this classic face. Oh yeah.
Our low-orbiting recon has determined the parameters of their activities. And that includes the outskirts of the city as well as...
Holy shit, I didn't see that coming. A rare surprise in this movie. So it's time for the showdown between the hooker and Seagal. Now, pretty girlfriend is thrown through not wood, but two walls, and look at Seagal move. Go on, lad, give her some shit. I don't know what's with the white flashes every time he hits her, but maybe it's because Seagal is shooting her with electricity or something, because it would make as much sense as everything else that goes on in this. So now they have the hooker and it's time to interrogate her, but first Seagal is presented with some special weapons to use.
These nanographite blades were built for a man with your kind of fighting skills. They are the strongest substance known.
They'll come in handy.
Then Sensei uses confusing voice-changing techniques to find out information with the hooker.
Rena, do you hear me? I'm running out of patience.
I will never tell you anything.
This time you really pissed me off.
Then he decides to use his weapons and kills her. Bosh. Now, I really don't get what is going on. There's some French detective popping up every now and then, but he serves no purpose and he just disappears. What happens to him, we don't know. There's this guy who I have no clue what he's doing, and a bunch of other guys whose scenes just feel like they've been lifted from a completely different movie and slapped in.
You must use the Chinese against the Chinese. You're playing the game of death. Nonsense!
But anyway, Seagal teams up with a bunch of soldiers and they plan on hunting down the club owner and his gang of drugged up super soldier hookers or whatever they're meant to be. Now, they're still hanging out in the rundown castle for reasons unknown, while our man Seagal and his dubbed voice just don't seem very motivated to do anything at this point in the movie.
Can I talk to you?
Yeah, talk away.
In private?
Sure.
Oh, Steve, priceless performance, but I just think he's pissed off because his pretty girlfriend made him get up from his chair. You lazy bar steward. Now is my top 5 random bullshit moments. Number 1, as with a lot of Steven Seagal's films, his voice is dubbed. In fact, his opening appearance has his entire dialogue said off screen, but is clearly said by somebody doing a bad Seagal impression. I mean, just check this scene out, it's like a badly dubbed Godfrey Ho ninja movie.
Nonsense!
We have confirmed movement on the west side of the perimeter, Commander.
Roger that, Dwayne. What's your position?
Or this scene where he says,
"What can I do for you, Marshal?"
I'm flattered. Really flattered you recognize my voice.
Tell Werner he needs to get up earlier than that. Aaron's base has been located in a small village somewhere outside of Bordeaux.
surprised you recognise his voice. Then he magically changes his voice. Oh, the irony. Number 2, the so-called titty bar that Seagal's men go to has got no boobs on display at all.
This is the best day of my life! Yeah! Woohoo!
Words fail me. Number 3, the film is shot entirely at night, probably to hide the fact that Seagal is overweight. And amazingly, it's darker than the last Seagal movie, which I reviewed, called Against the Dark. Mental. Number 4, a daytime scene. Amazing. But sadly nothing interesting happens, so enjoy this instead. Number 5, Seagal knows when random people are on CTX before their eyes give it away to everybody else.
Tell me or I'll kill you.
Go fuck yourself.
They're on CTX. I can see it.
What a great scene. Say what? More confusing stuff happens and then it's on to the big climax, so get excited folks, just like our main man taught us. I'm excited. So the club owner attacks pretty girlfriend and uses a special weapon to kill her. Seagal looks really upset. Pissant soldiers get killed. Seagal fights club owner with his little daggers and although stabbing him in the head twice doesn't kill him, throwing him onto some steps does. The big boss lady asks Seagal then to team up with her, but he just looks as baffled as everyone else watching this. Angry American fights some random goons and dies. Seagal looks really upset. But this is what we've been waiting to see. It's priceless, one of the greatest movie fights of all time. Why is he trying to slap the cameraman? Well, whatever. Naturally, Seagal can knock people through walls because, hey, he's Steven Seagal, and then she's sporting some nice battle damage without revealing too much, of course. I mean, she could actually get a job working in the so-called titty bar looking like that. Yeah. And our hero saves the day and walks off with some random soldier who survived. Say what? The budget for these kind of movies is always quite small, that's a given, but I don't know how they managed to make this turn out so fucking monumentally bad. This, folks, is a harsh lesson on how to waste $12 million. I mean, I guess most of it went to our main man Steve, leaving peanuts to work with. Well done, Sensei, you've provided the world with one of the classics in bad movies. We say thank you. The title of this movie is generic, but I guess that it does fit 95% of Seagal's other film titles with classics such as these. Above the law, beyond the law, driven to kill, out for a kill, kill switch, half past dead, today you die, and my personal favourite, Belly of the Beast. And no, it's amazingly not about Steven Seagal's ever-increasing weight gain. Actually, I don't think it gets explained why it's called Belly of the Beast, so yeah, we'll just say it's about Steven Seagal's ever-increasing weight gain. In fact, I'm inspired to rename my 3 novels after Steven Seagal films because it works for him. So, Crystal Castle here, folks, that can now become Urban Justice. Hunter, that can become Pistol Whipped. And Hyden Manor can become Attack Force just because it's so bloody awesome. My book, of course, not Steven Seagal's Attack Force. Available on Kindle and paperback from Amazon. Now, if you think this film is poor, try watching Flight of Fury. Now, in the 10th anniversary special, I said, Flight of Fury by Steven Seagal is so monumentally dull and boring that it kills brain cells, and half of the footage, and I'm not even exaggerating, half of the footage is stock footage that they've ripped off from the RAF or the Navy. Then you see Steven Seagal sitting there as a close-up in his little fighter plane with a mask on, talking like this. So he's sitting there, he doesn't sound like Bane from Batman Dark Knight Rises or whatever, but he's sat there talking like this because he's Steven Seagal, and it's the same one shot all the time. They could put in any audio that they feel like, which they do, and half of the dialogue actually is not even Steven Seagal's voice. It's always dubbed by some random arsehole. So, Flight of Fury, if you've got 90 minutes to kill, go watch it. I give it 0.5 out of 10. Now, my intention was to review that properly right now, but I just couldn't do it. Sorry guys. Hence, Attack Force. Now, earlier in the video I mentioned that this film was such a convoluted mess. Now, the reason this is such a mess and makes little sense is because it was apparently changed in post-production. It was originally shot to have aliens in there or something, but some brainiac out there wanted it to be the government and evil mobsters brainwashing people with a new drug to become mindless super soldier killers. It certainly explains why a lot of the dialogue is said when characters are off screen and we see random shots of cars or buildings, or when they are actually on screen, their mouths aren't in sync with the dialogue we're hearing. And it's all done so they can try and force in an explanation of what is going on, but it doesn't work at all. And that is why Attack Force is highly entertaining to watch, because it's fucking horrendous. Oh, just reviewing these films of Steven Seagal is like having a lobotomy. And I must be a sucker for it because I've got so many in my collection. It is a guilty pleasure. I just thought, they actually acknowledged the drug in the water system, but then that's the last we actually hear about it. So really, in theory, everyone is doomed as the storyline is never concluded. Stupid film. No, wait, what am I talking about? It's a Seagal film. It doesn't matter about things making sense as long as we get epic scenes like this. Oh yeah. So all in all, Seagal delivers an Oscar-worthy performance, as do all, with Sensei even changing his voice throughout the film, which is talent indeed from the master. The story is engaging and straightforward, the fights are well staged, and the lighting is first class. This should have become the most successful and well-known movie of all time. There truly is no justice. And if you really need someone to spell out the obvious, like Seagal does to us in this film, I was being sarcastic. 1 out of 10.